From the post-World War II era through the 1980s, the United States saw a trend called urban flight, where people moved away from cities and into the suburbs. Urban flight happened because cities were getting too crowded. This led to more crime and bad housing conditions. So, folks who could afford it left the cities for the suburbs, where schools were better and neighborhoods were safer. Even some businesses moved to the suburbs, which meant cities lost out on tax money, and downtown shopping areas lost customers to suburban malls. In the 1990s, the 31 poorest communities in the US were all in cities. But by the mid 1990s, things started to change. Property prices in cities went down, so some folks started moving back. This process is called gentrification, where people fix up old houses and neighborhoods. Young adults especially like the idea of living in the city. As more people moved back to downtown areas, housing costs went up, and some lower income residents had to leave. Even smaller cities and towns started revitalizing their downtowns with programs to help businesses. This created jobs and brought in new businesses. Many workers still commuted to the city for work, but some started working from home using new tech. Minorities also started moving to the suburbs, so suburbs started competing for businesses too. They offered tax breaks to attract companies, which sometimes meant less tax money for them in the long run. Some cities have had a tough time because of natural disasters. Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans hard in 2005, causing major floods and destruction. Hurricane Sandy also caused damage to cities in New Jersey and New York in 2012. These disasters hurt the environment, strained local governments, and messed with property values and where people lived. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, Americans were older in 2010 than ever before, with the median age being 37.2 years, which was 2 years older than in 2000. This increase in median age reflects several trends. First, the birth rate in the country has slowed down. The large baby boom generation has reached retirement age, and because of medical advancements and healthier lifestyles, people are living longer. This graying of America has put pressure on programs designed for the elderly. Back in 1955, these programs only took up 6% of the national budget, but by 2015, they had grown to over 1/3 of the budget. Medicare and Social Security are two of the main programs that provide care for the elderly and disabled. Social Security was set up to rely on funding from younger workers. In the past, when there were more young workers than retirees, and when most people didn't live long after retiring, this system worked fine. In 1996, for example, 3 workers contributed to Social Security for every retired person. However, experts predict that by 2030, there will only be 2 workers for every retired person. This means that Social Security will start paying out more money than it's taking in. Because of this, some people are calling for changes to the Social Security system. The population of the United States has grown significantly from 204 million in 1970 to over 309 million by 2010, with immigration playing a major role in this growth. Over time, the immigration patterns have shifted. While large numbers of immigrants from Europe arrived before and after 1900, since the 1960s, the majority of immigrants have come from Asia and the Western Hemisphere, particularly Mexico. Many factors drive immigration from Mexico, including the devaluation of the Mexican peso, leading to economic decline and high unemployment rates. Similarly, civil wars and violence from drug gangs in Central America have pushed people to seek safety in the U.S. Legal and illegal immigrants arrive daily, reshaping the ethnic and racial composition of the country. By 2001, California became a majority-minority state, with various ethnic groups collectively making up more than half its population. Other states, such as Hawaii, New Mexico, and Texas, followed suit by 2010. This demographic shift has sparked debates over immigration policies, with some arguing that the country cannot accommodate more immigrants. Illegal immigration has particularly fueled debates, with an estimated 11.4 million undocumented immigrants residing in the U.S. by by 2013. Hostility toward illegal immigration has risen, leading to measures like Proposition 187 in California in 1994, although it was later deemed unconstitutional, and laws like the one passed in Arizona in 2010, which empowered local authorities to enforce federal immigration laws. As immigration continues and the nation becomes increasingly diverse, debates over immigration policies are expected to persist. Meanwhile, Native Americans continue to face challenges, with a significant portion living below the poverty line. Despite these issues, the U.S. remains a multicultural nation, evident in various aspects of society, such as art, music, language, and cuisine, reflecting the influence of diverse cultures on American life.